After a convincing victory in game number 1, we are back here with game number 2, Sigma YNT. They destroyed Moneymakers in that first one. 30 minutes is how long it lasted, and really, if they GG'd out after 15, it still would have been fine considering how far they were behind in that first one there. Moneymakers versus Sigma YNT coming into the series. I thought Moneymakers were the better team, but they came in with the stand-in, and it seems like it definitely has impacted their game. Even though Vierch usually isn't like the flashiest of players, it seems like the team does not function that well without him, but it might not be the case. Stomps sometimes happen, sometimes you just lose the laning stage heavily and cannot come back from it. This time it might be different, or we could have 2 fast 2-0s here today. We did have in the first week, it started with 5 2-0s in a row, then it ended with 5 2-1s in a row. I'm hoping that we do get full 3 games today, because you know it's kind of a bummer to end the day with just 4 games. Not enough entertainment for sure here, but we still cannot impact it. The only ones that will impact it are the players, and they should be getting themselves into the draft fairly soon. We should see who's gonna come out ahead there. Will Sigma YNT again be able to get themselves a solid enough draft? I don't think they outdrafted their opponents in the previous one for sure, but they definitely did play well. I think that last pick Tusk though was an issue. You couldn't bring down anyone. It was kind of apparent why the Tusk isn't played any longer. Kind of the burst isn't there. People have gotten used to play against it mostly, and then if you're not getting those early kills, you're not a fast farmer. A lot of the mid laners are gonna beat you even slightly. It's still a problem. And then at like 15 minutes into the game, you are the lowest net worth core by far, and you have no impact in the game. So that's pretty much what happened to Yegor last game. We'll see if this time he changes something, and he probably should. Getting into game number 2, I'm curious to see if the DP will get banned out, if they're gonna allow it to come through here from the side of Moneymakers. It definitely was an issue in the previous one, though it was an issue because you didn't address it. You could have taken something like a Queen of Pain, like a SF, something that does burst damage on Yegor. He likes to play the little bit of the greedier kind, and then it would have been fine. But no, you went with the Tusk, something that's gonna do 50-50 or slightly lose in that lane, and then you couldn't do anything on the map. So we'll see. It's not over. The series is not over. Moneymakers, you only lost 1 game. They will ban out the Nature's Prophet. Let's see, Moneymakers, do you pick up a Death Prophet? Do they see it as a first phase pick? They will get it. So Sigma YNT, they've played the Death Prophet quite a lot, so they should know how to deal with it. Burst damage is definitely the way. So considering they play a Hoodwink, I would like to see it. Hoodwink or a Techies here in the first phase, I think would be a good choice for them. +1, of course. Unless, okay, no Beastmaster actually. That's the one that the teams have been going for. But let's see what Sigma have been doing, though. To be honest, they have been doing quite a lot, quite unsuccessfully. So maybe you don't want it. Dragonite is something they could get. Rubik Dragonite? No, Rubik Centaur. Okay, so that is burst. That definitely is burst. You steal the Crit Swarm, you have the Fade Bolt, Crit Swarm, Hoof Stomp, Double Edge. That's enough to get any hero to like 20% HP, and then you just need to poke somebody and they die. Disruptor comes out from Moneymakers. Very weird that Sigma YNT didn't get it for themselves, but as we mentioned, the Disruptor just hasn't been as successful here in Division 2 as it has been in Division 1, so makes sense. Games just aren't fast enough, and it's very easy to see that some heroes, some tactics, they do need speed to actually work properly. They need some chaos. They need to force enemies into mistakes, because if enemies aren't being forced into mistakes, it's actually very easy to play versus the Glimpse. But if you're constantly pressured, if you don't know from which side you're coming from, then those glimpses can really open up fights or end them if you find the right angle to get those first 1 or 2 kills at the start of it. So yeah, We'll see if Moneymakers this time around, they can use the Disruptor properly. They do have the DP to take down towers. Last game, they didn't really have all that much tower taking potential, to be honest.
Radiant team ban.
Drow Doom and they Tusk your Tricore. That's really the best one. They will ban out the Sniper. Okay.
Dire team ban.
Where from that one, the Brewmaster gets taken out. Has Moneymakers played a Brewmaster game? No. So this has to be internal, right?
10 seconds remaining.
There's no other way around it. They probably have scrimmed each other, and this is a hero that you don't want to be playing. Oh, no, it's probably Claxon's hero, right? He came in as the stand-in, you know him, you don't want to allow him to play it, and now you target him. You're getting rid of some of these heroes that get in your face, so I'm thinking they might be looking into one of the range heroes. The thing is, they're banned out. No Nature's Prophet, no Sniper, no Drow. So at Medusa, you wouldn't ban these. Maybe you would ban out the Brewmaster, but not sure if you would ban out the Primal Beast. So you probably don't want a Morphling.
5 seconds remaining.
Okay, we'll see. We'll see how Sigma does. I really like the bans from Moneymakers. It's pretty obvious that those heroes are going to be protected quite a lot by a Centaur. And you want to be running in. Sniper and the Drow are the type of heroes, if you're running into them, just running, straight running, not jumping, running into them, they will smack you. They will destroy you before you even get close. Okay, makes sense. They will get rid of the Zeus burst damage potential. For you has played it in the past. You then ban out the Tinker, so that could be a possible fourth pick for Sigma YNT here. Kind of depends on what Moneymakers will get. If we get a Clockwork ban here right now, or a Clockwork pick, Sigma YNT, they might be preparing for it. The Clockwork pick would actually be quite good. You get a Clockwork, you get a Tinker, then you'll be able to pick up any carry you want. Really, something that's gonna do decent is good enough. But of course, does depend on what Moneymakers pick. They might get some heroes that are gonna be naturally good versus the Tinker. They're taking their time with this ban. What really are they thinking about? It's hard because the Death Prophet is a versatile hero. 5, 2, 3. Those are the positions where we can expect her most likely 2 and 3. Very rarely do we see her on the support role lately. Just because she's way too slow. 280 movement speed in the laning phase. Especially level 1 and 2 where you're so squishy you don't have the Spirit Siphons. At least not too many charges to protect you. The Snapfire does come through. So you could go for a Clockwork here on Moneymakers. But the thing is, are you gonna do it? I'm guessing you just get a offlane duo. A standard one is probably the best idea. Or you get something to go with a Disruptor and you get a Clockwork.
5 seconds remaining.
Those are the options. I think. Do you pick a carry here if you're Moneymakers? Tough. You pick a carry, you pick a 4. Yeah, okay, Terrorblade. It's fine. You're gonna get a Tinker to the face. Just get a Clockwork. Just get it now. You're getting Tinker. Like, there's no way that For You isn't asking for a Tinker here. GG. Tinker, just pick it up. Over. Nothing they can do about it. Right? What are they gonna do? You could go for a Morphling, but I guess that's what the Elder Titan is for, to dissuade you from it. That makes a lot of sense. The Morphling, the Naga Siren, those are the carries that deal well with the Terrorblades. That's why they got the Elder Titan. They go for the PL. Okay, so they won with the PL, and this is a really good PL game other than the Elder Titan who takes away your armor. But I thought this was going to be a Tinker for sure. So now it's getting banned out. There's no doubt about it. I'm not sure why they didn't go for it, right? Did they feel like they aren't gonna lose with it because they've been losing so much, but they've been losing anyways. This is a good PL game. The problem I see is that there are a lot of offlaners that could be problematic for you. Timber, the Underlord, the Sand King, even though those aren't super popular. Tidehunter. Like, there's a ton of them.
10 seconds
That's why I'm not
remaining.
sure about the PL. I would have left it for the last pick. Yes, they played it, but who the hell is going to
5
ban out the
seconds
PL?
remaining.
Ban out the Wind Ranger. Tinker ban. Don't forget about it.
Radiant team ban.
Banned out the OD. Boy. Boy, oh boy. If Sigma YNT gets the Tinker, I'm gonna be going for them. Even though Tinker PL
Dire
might
team
be a
pick.
little bit too greedy, let's put it that way. Especially when you have Rubik, Snapfire, and the Centaur, which all kind of need some farm or get some farm by pushing out the waves. So they think this is an offlane Death Prophet.
10 seconds remaining.
Or no, they ban out the Lash and the Timber. They actually have no idea.
Commander.
Okay, that's a PL counter. That's a huge PL counter that we haven't seen for quite some time. But in the laning stage, you are screwed. You use the Doppelganger and you lose half of your HP from the Overwhelming Gods. Like, instantly. But I still don't know why you wouldn't pick a Tinker
10
here. I
seconds
just don't see
remaining.
how you lose the game with the Tinker. Even if the PL is not
5
strong.
seconds remaining.
That might be a problem. If the PL starts falling behind, you could be in trouble with the Tinker. Because you don't really push. Is there anything else? There's still a Puck. There's still a Storm. Those are still pretty viable heroes. You might get caught in the Static Storm and the duel. There it is.
Choose your hero.
I still think Sigma YNT are winning this one. Like, for you, this is one of his favorite heroes. I'm not the biggest fan of the PL, but they already made it work once. So this hero is 1-0 currently in this Eastern European DPC Division 2. They have heroes that they're very confident on. I guess now with the Vanguard build on the PL, you can actually survive a little bit longer. Your idea is to be tanky in this game. If you are able to survive, the Tinker will do enough damage. You just need to be providing vision. So I'm guessing something like an Octarine Core Shard is going to be a route for Dark Lord. On the side of Moneymakers, they need tempo. Just constantly keep Sigma YNT less farm than you. You cannot allow them to take over like in the early mid-game, in the mid-game. If you allow that to happen, they're going to run you over. But if you're constantly applying pressure, sending the illusions, scaring them with the potential duel, Yegor going for towers, going for Roche, if your tempo is right, you're going to be fine. But Moneymakers in the last game didn't do too well. Their tempo wasn't that great. The Terrorblade, he is countered heavily. If you look at the magic damage, he gets destroyed. The PL is actually good versus the Terrorblade later on in the game. I think this is going to be a 2-0 for Sigma YNT. I can't believe I'm saying this, but seems like Moneymakers, they didn't come too prepared today. They allowed their enemies to have all of their heroes. They don't have a single Tinker counter. I guess you could find him with the Spirit, with the Glimpse, but it's just not easy to do. I don't want to say they got outdrafted. The only reason why I'm saying they did get outdrafted, but currently in the meta, the PL is not that great. So with that reason, it might not be the outdraft. On paper, if you look at these two drafts across metas, you would probably favor Sigma YNT every time, right? But it's still anybody's game. I think if they do well in the laning stage, if they continue getting the momentum, use the Terrorblade to push down towers as well as the DP, they have a shot. But we'll see. We'll have to get into the game and see for ourselves. Before that, a word from our sponsors.
Bets on esports, bets on streamers, impressive bonus system. Welcome bonus up to $600, cashback, artifacts, regular promotions, daily giveaways. Try yourself as a bookmaker. Great lines. EGB.com, more than just a bookmaker.
And there we are in the potentially last game of the day here. Sigma YNT versus Moneymakers. Sigma on Radiant, Moneymakers on the Dire side. For those of you that are just joining us, currently it's 1-0 for Sigma YNT. And Moneymakers, they are playing with a stand-in, so this isn't going to be the easiest game for them. But they did get Klaxon, a very interesting hero, one that we don't see too often. But the Overwhelming Gods are a little bit too much of an issue versus the PL. We'll see just how much it is going to be for Klaxon. You know, in this this game, if he goes for the talents of the overwhelming odds, sometimes you can literally one-shot the PL. If not him, then someone standing next to him. Sigma YNT, they are still not favored in terms of odds, but Moneymakers, they did come in as the favorites. I don't think they've been showing that up too much in this game. And, well, Sigma, they get 2 runes, and it seems like Moneymakers will be getting 2 as well. These tags of Sigma, YNT, they are definitely confusing. But that's why you have me here, guys, to decipher everything. So these two used to be the same organization. Sigma YNT did better in the previous DPC, so they stayed with the org, and Moneymakers, they probably got kicked out. Maybe it was no mutual, but I doubt it. Sigma YNT, they were 3rd in the last DPC. Now they are 1 and 3. So they're 0 and 3. But you know, this might be the time to turn it around. 1 and 3 might be happening after it. Slayer going forward, wants to smash Queasy. Bam! 1 more. Get away from my lane. But of course, there's so much burst potential on Kuropatic and Queasy that Slayer is gonna have to be careful how he approaches. And magical burst, because Spirit, once it comes back to you, it gives you armor and damage, right? So in terms of and movement speed, of course. In terms of magical damage, you're still going to be taking a lot of a beating. Hoof Stomp comes out, Slayer won't be able to continue chasing, and Queasy was close to dying, so with the next Spirit, he could easily lose his life. Dark Lord starts off with a Doppelganger. I'm not sure about that one. Versus a Legion Commander, you probably don't want to use it ever. With those overwhelming odds, they're gonna hurt. I like that he wants a Yasha first. You get a Diffusal Blade first, you have to fight. If the fights don't go well, you're a goner. But if you have a Manta, even just a Yasha, your farming speed is increased by quite a lot. Vanscore will block the camp, will get unblocked. Bignum, beautifully done. The Glimpse, and then he puts the center of his own. Body blocks the enemy camp. He did everything right, Bignum there. So Vanscore got outplayed a little bit. Of course, his enemy did have better resources there. Looking at the CS, they're crushing it over on Moneymakers, and that's the thing. Their lanes could go really well here. Of course, Terrorblade, he could die. Even if he has good CS, he could very easily die on the top lane. That's always going to be a problem now with Sigma getting more levels. But we'll see. So far, so good for Moneymakers. If the laning stage continues this way and you continue to gain ground, this is the way that you win with this lineup. You cannot allow yourself to start falling behind. If it's even, Tinker gets his items, level 12, you're in trouble. But if you're ahead, then it's gonna be a bit different. And you do have the necessary heroes to actually be ahead. Both the Terrorblade and the DP are going to be quite susceptible to burst. That should help. These guys on Sigma, they do have quite a lot of. But for now, man, the mid laners have so many denies. I guess For You got pushed back because you're getting denies with the laser, and Yegor, he gets denies by pushing you back. Forstinger is gonna get the blink early on, and that's where the Terrorblade could be in trouble. Lift up into a stun, a lot of damage being done into him. Lucas has the stick, so he'll be fine. He turns around with the meta. He understands how much damage he can do, and Kuropatic has to DP away. Oh no, it wasn't him who died. That was like, did they really kill him? It's gonna be Vanscore who loses his life on the bottom lane. I was like, no way, no freaking way they killed him, because he TP'd out at the same second. But the centaur does survive, and it is going to be Bignum on the other part of the map that dies. Moneymakers, they started the game really well. 1k gold lead, pretty much winning all 3 lanes. I mean, pretty much, they are winning all 3 lanes by a solid margin. Terrorblade dying? Yeah, well, that's a problem. That is the thing with these two. Just so much magic damage, and Slayer, you don't want to be fighting them. Believe me. Oh, yes, I do. Look at those right clicks. They hurt. One more to finish off Kuropatic. But he can't do it. He does have the stick charges. Fade Bolt won't be killing him, and has the healing salve to keep himself alive. So Kuropatic without a TP. It's a tough endeavor to stay in this lane.
Dire's structures
He is
are
healing quite a
fortified.
lot there with the Ring of Health and the... Yegor, you might be a bit too deep, my friend. Spirit Siphon, yeah, nothing is too deep for Death Prophet. He will be fine. The tower isn't attacking him. Still has creeps there to tank it for quite some time. And Yegor will get himself out. Even with 2 heroes here, there's nothing they could do about him. Doesn't have the bottle. We'll see it sometimes from Death Prophets. Tinker. We very rarely see it from Tinkers. He will get the water rune. He needs to use it and TP away right now. Nice job. Would have been a goner. TP is back to the lane. Slayer. Not a lot of damage. He only got it there from the Tinkers, so... His Astral Spirit won't give him too much. So 1-for-1 in terms of kills, but a 1k gold lead for Moneymakers. The PL is actually doing well in lane, right? Is behind the LC, but he's doing really well for himself. Bignum and Van Score coming to the mid lane. Let's see what they really want to do. Yegor, he's gonna have his Spirit Siphon, so it's really not in any kind of jeopardy of dying. Haste. Let's get denied there. I think Queasy could have gotten to that one first, but doesn't do it. Van Score being ran down. Yegor does have his ulti, doesn't have the mana, and the Spirit Siphon should be enough to get the kill. Run Van Score. Actually, not gonna be enough. He doesn't want to dive this time around. Doesn't have the creeps. It's like, is there a ward here? No. Won't be finding anything. Oh, for you is really struggling in this mid lane. 1700 net worth. He is in support territory, really. We did get smacked there. The DP, not a hero that you played the lane against easily. And Tinker is the type of hero that relies on harassment. DP is very hard to get harassed. Maybe that's the reason why they were hesitant about picking the Tinker. Like, we need a perfect Tinker game. It's not gonna be doing well for you. No stun there from Van Score. Yeah, but with the Exorcism, they're gonna be able to run him down. No way you're surviving. And the 2 supports, they have to run as well. Van Score, that's not gonna be happening. He came in with the cookies, trying to get Slayer. Will be able to get at least something going his way. And with Queasy being alive, defending that tower is not going to be impossible. It's not going to fall, but some solid damage will definitely be done to it. Queasy doing his best, keeps Yegor in an unhealthy position, and the siege creep dying, that's the big deal. That's the biggest deal for sure. Oh, Snapfar coming, Snapfar going back. Van Score will get taken back for you. That allows him to stay quite safely here in the lane. And well, first Exorcism does some damage to the tower, nothing too significant, but it's still quite nice. So Sigma, how do you need more levels, you need more time, that's the thing. And I don't see Moneymakers stopping anytime soon. So what do you do? I guess level 6 on the Snapfar is time when you should be killing the Death Prophet over and over again. And Kuropatic Blink. Blink's not easy to get for you inside of the kinetic field. The Stampede does come through. He's not level 6 on the Tinker, but they have the Stampede. Only 1 Spirit Siphon left. Yegor, nice tower tanking coming out by Bignum, and Yegor is healing himself up with the Spirit Siphon, but it will expire, so he doesn't have it any longer. Can they catch him? The slows are there. The cookie will be ready. Needs to use it on the creep. Will connect. Slayer coming from the side. The stomp not gonna be happening. Nice laser from For You. Finally, he gets something in his pocket, and this Tinker, he needed that. He really did need that. Bottom tower, Dark Lord has abandoned it. Understandably so, it wasn't going well. He didn't go for the Vanguard builds. It doesn't allow him to stay there for long. He's deeping to the bottom lane. Immediately got to be cancelled. Bignum, as he put himself in an unfortunate position. Nope, actually will be fine. The problem is this LC will be a godly hero, right? Look at how farmed he is. He's gonna have that Blade Mail in no time, which means he's gonna have Blade Mail Blink like 15 minutes into the game if nothing goes seriously wrong. For You, let's come towards the bottom lane. Nice there, nice farm for him. He's gonna have the Blink in no time. That's what you use to hunt down the Terrorblade if you can. I'm guessing he won't be staying in the lane for too long. High five. No, Slayer's right hand is a little bit too big, Rubik, so better keep your mouth shut. Mid lane tower. Let me take him down. I don't think you're defending this one. It's just about getting a little bit of experience there for the Snapfire, but without the glyph, you actually have no chances of defending this one. Yegor will take it, and you could only give them bonus kills, which is pretty much happening right now. Vanscore glyphs back, stomped on, and look at how much damage Yegor does when he gets close. Those spirits, they're relentless. That's a 3k gold lead, and this is the advantage that Moneymakers need. They need to continue gaining ground. Everything is looking up for them currently. They continue this pace. They shouldn't have much issues ending the game, but if it slows down, God help them. Yasha on the PL. He's probably gonna get a diffusal, then go into the Manta. Very rarely we see a straight up Manta. Blade Mail is done for Klaxon. Thing is, now he doesn't have a blink, so this is the time for Sigma YT to stop the bleeding, right? But do they farm as fast as Moneymakers? Probably not. Terrorblade farms faster than the PL. DP doesn't farm stacks as fast as the Tinker, and Tinker does have some stacks. Stomp. I'm not gonna be able to get much there. Slayer, actually coming in, is gonna be doing a ton of damage. They're invading, so these stacks, they're not gonna be going towards the Tinker. Moneymakers, they're getting everything from their opponents, and Sigma YT completely helpless until they get the blink on the Centaur. They cannot engage, they cannot start the fight, they cannot do anything actually. And yeah, thank you for stacking this for us. That's gonna be getting the lead of Moneymakers even higher. This PL will have to get involved. It seems like the greed was too much from Sigma YT. Atos will be done on the Death Prophet. Chase potential even bigger. Tinker coming over. Lucas, you have to be careful. You know how much damage this guy can do. The heat-seeking missiles are gonna be enough to dissuade them. Will they? Stolen Spirit Siphon for the Rubik. That is a big one. That is actually a spell that allows you to be a problem for your enemies. At Sigma, they need more time. They need at least level 12 on the Tinker. At least. If they want to be in any kind of a good position up until that point, you know, LC will be an issue. A really big issue. Moneymakers in a very dominant position, and it's not gonna be changing for quite some time. He went for the dual bonus damage instead of the overwhelming odds radius. I think the radius actually would have been quite good. You're playing against the PL, that's a bit greedy. Moneymakers, they want Queasy dead. He's gonna be silenced up. No spirit. Actually, he get the Spirit Siphon out, so will be taken down easily. Yegor claims him. That's a small price to pay for a smoke, but the positioning of Moneymakers is what's constantly putting pressure on Sigma. Look at it, Vanscore, he's not even level 6 yet. He really needs those Mortimer's Kisses. And they're just continuing with the pressure here from Moneymakers. You don't want to dive. You don't want to give any unnecessary kills to Sigma, because one big fight could turn the game on its head. But if you continue playing this slowly, you might not be able to lose. They have vision on the Tinker, but they're unsure how to actually get towards him. He doesn't have boots, so Tinker, if he does get caught by the Atos almost connects Squeezy. I'm probably not gonna be as lucky as his buddy. Actually, diving a tier 2 is always a problem. Those tier 2s, they really do pack a punch. Here comes the rockets, and that heat-seeking missile, it's not gonna be finishing Big Num off. It got close. His raindrops were in the backpack. He understands, yo, I need this one maybe to live. The end wasn't necessary, but got very much close. This is a big deal. Finally, they do have the Mortimer's Kisses, so LC could get taken down. Dark Lord, he's waiting for help. Is scouting. Klaxon will be smacked, but he is gonna be okay. And now he understands. He is well aware they're coming for his booty. Is he? Is he aware? Staying there and farming, they... the thing is, Sigma, they have to assume that could be a bait. And it could be. It's not. We know it, but Sigma don't. And you can't just go for him. The LC is not an easy kill. Lucas, he did die once in this game, but pretty much doesn't care. Reflection does not connect. For you can see it in his face that he's not happy with how this game is going. He understands just how bad of a position his team is in. So Sigma, what do you do? This gold lead, it will get to insurmountable heights. Yes, Tinker and the PL, they do counter the Terrorblade, but not an overpowered, overfed Terrorblade that wasn't touched. No, they don't. You have to be at least somewhat on par with him. A 4.6k net worth Tinker.
Radiant are scanning.
For you had so much success with this hero. It was banned first phase against him. Kuropatic has been found. They have a they have the ward. Mortimer's Kisses, they are gonna hurt. They toss onto the center. They're not allowing him to blink, but guess who will blink? It is gonna be DLC. The Static Storm gets used into the back lane. Kuropatic will survive. He actually goes for the Stampede. No way he lives. No freaking way. Blink out. No, the Spirit got to him in time. He could have blinked on towards the top, but he didn't have a way to escape completely. So in the end, it would have just bought him some time. In the end, he got greedy. He wanted to get the full-on escape. But will be going down, so that's gonna be a core and a tower, and the only thing you're getting in return is some farm, some lane outpush, but moneymakers are getting everything to go their way. And Dark Lord, if Fusel Blade is ready, he's gonna have to get engaged here. But to whom? To DP or DLC? Haha, good jokes. Well, Bignum wants to find somebody. Speaking of being found, Queasy will get taken down, and that's gonna be LC getting the first duel going his way. For you has been caught, TPing out. Use that glimpse, my friend. He's waiting for the last possible second, waiting for his teammates to come, and that is a dead Tinker. Yegor finishes off the Rubik in the mid lane, and he will get the Tinker on the bottom lane. Beautifully done by Moneymakers, just making sure they're getting the kills there. And well, if he used the glimpse a little bit earlier, maybe the Tinker gets away, but everything done nicely, everything done correctly secures you the kill.
Dire's top tower is under attack.
Thing is still, can Moneymakers end this game in time? But are you really on a timer if you're that far ahead? Slayer coming over. Hello, Queasy. Remember me from the lane. They had their epic battles where Queasy would just run away. The coward. Dark Lord. This PL hasn't seen action. 0-0-0. For a PL, that's nice. The problem is they're 7k gold behind. Yes, he is somewhat relevant in terms of farm, but nobody else is. His supports are underfarmed. His cores, we don't even talk about those. Especially the Tinker. They don't have a game. So this PL really is gonna have to be doing everything until the Tinker gets some items so he can actually do some damage. But Moneymakers, they're not playing around. They're going for a tier 2. YNT, they're coming over. The PL is gonna be coming in as well. Stampede gonna be used, going on to Lucas. Can they finish him off? Goodbye, Lucas. Tinker did go aggressively, and Lucas, he thought he was invincible, and he was very much wrong. That's a big kill, and the tower defended without the blip being used. A big win for Sigma YNT. Cost them 2 ultis. But finally, they're gonna get themselves a kill. They haven't gotten a kill for a very long time. Moneymakers, they're gonna stay here. They have a smoke of their own. Guess what? Klaxon, he does a ton of damage if you duel the right PL, and he's gonna find him. That could be a kill. Look at the damage being done. The Static Storm. Centaur cannot assist. That's a solo kill. It's not like this was needed just to prevent any kind of help from coming. Disruptor dropping low. Bignum, is that gonna kill him? Now the raindrop comes out just in time, but Kuropatic doesn't care. You killed Dark Carry, now you die. That was a mistake, my friend. You have nowhere to go, you have nowhere to hide. You will sleep, you will be silenced, turn into a piggy, and the Centaur, he will be fed a cookie as well, and that is not a last meal for Kuropatic. He got the kill, he got out. Of course, it did cost him a PL, but at least something. Now they know it's time for a Roche. So it was shown that the Terrorblade can die inside of a stun. You're up against the Tinker. The burst damage is still going to be there. Well, with the Aegis, that's not going to be happening. The Exorcism and the Meta both get used. And things are coming out. Sigma YNT, can they get here in time? Nah, it's over. The Roche is gone. It's going to be dying. And Sigma YNT, there isn't a thing in the world they can do to prevent this. So it is going to be Aegis onto Yegor, actually. Okay. So Lucas not going to be given that one. Very surprising. I guess you don't have to get close to the tower with the Terrorblade. You can just send the illusions. And the DP loves running in. So they're probably just going to be changing the way that they approach the fight, that they approach the game. The duel will come out onto the Rubik. He's just dead. Kuropatic with the Stampede. You cannot help a guy that has committed to a fight. Not too honorable given that it's against the girl, but she asked for it. 84 damage on the LC. This is looking really big. He's topping the network chart. He has a ton of damage. And it's just gonna continue. Whoever gets dueled, he's gonna die. And Kuropatic seems to want to be giving him a double duel with the Lotus Orb. It's good versus the Sunder, it's good versus the Silence and the Atos of the DP and the Echo Stomp. But if a double duel comes out, it's actually a disaster for you to give 56 damage to this LC. Make it 76 if he's level 18, which currently he isn't, but a couple of more fights and he could easily get there. So PL wants the Octarine. Shard is probably an item on the menu as well. Just wants to be spamming out the spells, staying with the Brigand's Blade. I guess the Octarine core makes sense if you're able to get it and the Shard and are able to delay as much as possible. The Tinker really could come into play. If Tinker becomes a problem that you have to catch him, that can force Moneymakers into mistakes. Though for now, he's not a problem. He's definitely not an issue. And guess who is? It is Klaxon, because he has a ton of damage. Now he's going to be over 100 on the LC. So another duel victory. Those are going to continue. The defense matrix might be a good way to deal with the duel, right? It does give you the status resistance, so you might be able to survive it. We'll see. We'll see if For You can put it on his teammates in time. So right now, it's time to deal with the split push. So that's why Moneymakers are buying the Boots of Travel there on the DP. So he's going for a Shrink Ray on the Tinker. Makes sense. New technology will be discovered by the Tinker, a Shrink Ray. The enemies are a little bit too big, so just make them smaller and stomp on them. You have a Stampede, you have a Centaur. Oh, makes sense. Yeah, nicely done by Queasy just in time. If he was a second too late, well, he would be in the afterlife right now. Dark Lord. You buy a Shard next. Probably. Vitality Booster is quite nice. You have 2k HP. That's actually decent in terms of survival. You still don't live through the duel.
Radiant structures are fortified.
Bottom tower will die. They did delay this Sigma YNT, so props to them. And they're still not out of the fray. They're still in trouble, and Moneymakers are the ones in control of the game. And Moneymakers, unlike No Sorry, have shown that they know how to end the game properly. So Sigma YNT, this is not going to be easy for you. He's not buying the Shard in the PL just yet. Silence, Snapfire. Well, Manscore is gonna have to accept his destiny. His destiny is gonna be a painful death, not even that fast. So they do poke him a little bit there, and Yegor is on an unstoppable streak. You have to protect your outer towers. It's very much necessary. The Tinker won't have anywhere to play. Of course, once he gets level 18, he can get it towards your heroes, but you want to be able to use his spam potential to defend those towers. Yeah, we'll see what you'll use to defend your supports. That 140 damage for Klaxon.
Radiant's middle tower is under attack.
He's gonna go for an Aeon Disc. Not Aeon Disc, for the Ether Lens, sorry. He just wants to have the dual range as well. The more reach. Shrink Ray done on the Tinker. So this laser now is not to be underestimated. That's a lot of stats that's being taken away. It's like 10%, I think. Like that. So.
Invisibility.
So let me...
Radiant's bottom tower is under attack.
Yeah, 10% health reduction and max health reduction 10% and current health reduction 10%. Okay, so that's a lot. That's really a lot. Oh yeah, it is 10%. So it is quite a big buff to the spell. To the laser, guys. So the laser becomes a shrink ray. Yell is baiting on the bottom lane. I guess LC, if he jumps on you, gets lasered, that he will survive, but he has a BKB now, so there's absolutely no reason why he wouldn't use it. So baiting versus that BKB is, well, not smart. Let's put it that way. There's absolutely no reason for the LC not to use it every single time that he's going for a duel. The only thing that defends people from the duel right now is the defense matrix. There's no doubt about it. Like, it has to be the defense matrix. Nothing else. Even a shard on the Rubik, if you would get it, it wouldn't change anything. $5 to 14. 13,000 gold lead. Moneymakers, they are crushing this game. They are dominating this game. They have everything they need to win it. The next Roche is probably going to be the time when they start poking the high ground. Terribly now has a BKB. That's a triple BKB on their side. And PL working tirelessly to secure himself this Octarine core. He's going to need some more time to finish it off, but it's not going to be that big of a deal. Once you have the Octarine core, the spam of the Spirit Lance, and with that shard, the enemies are going to have to be dealing with a ton of illusions, right? But you can never commit, right? You have to constantly poke if you're Sigma 1T and only commit with a Centaur when you're 100% certain that it's going to be a kill. There's an Ether Lens on the LC, so Klaxon, that's a big range from which he can use his ulti. And that's not something that you usually expect, right? The top tower does fall. Now the last auto tower is in the mid lane. Sigma 1T, they've delayed this somewhat, but 26 minutes having only one tower left is a problem. And Moneymakers, they're preparing themselves for the late game right now. So what's it all about? You take the vision away from the enemy, so you buy the gem. You play in the enemy triangle until the Roche is up. That's fine. You control the mid, you control the top lane, the bottom lane. You're actually fine with it pushing in, because Tinker, he might push it in, but the tower isn't really gonna fall that easily. And you have the boots of travel and the DP to be able to respond. So you have everything right now on Moneymakers. When you control the triangle, you control everything. You can get into the bottom lane fast. And Sigma YNT, I'm not sure how they get out of their base. Terrorblade so freaking farmed. Scotty, BKB, Yasha. He wants to go for a Daedalus next. And that's it. Last auto tower. No more ways to secure yourself a fight outside of the base. They've only gotten one tower in this game, Sigma YNT, and their greed, well, it's not paying off. Dark Lord, he is still keeping relevant in farm. He is ahead of both the DP and the LC. The thing is that when it comes to a fight, if it comes to a commit, well, both of those are much stronger than he is. And one thing that, you know, I might be forgetting to mention is this Elder Titan. So you're ahead, which means that you're even more ahead with that Elder Titan in place. You can run in like madman. They're gonna be losing their magic resistance. They're gonna be losing their armor if he gets close on the Elder Titan. So it is a problem. It is a big problem. Sigma YNT, they're using smokes to get out of the base. They're using smokes to place vision. They cannot use smokes to fight. It's gonna be obvious from where they're coming from. And scan was used, so Sigma YNT, they know roughly where Moneymakers are. Moneymakers right now, they want to kill into Roche, right? But if you win a convincing fight, Sigma YNT might just call GG.
Radiant's middle tower is under attack.
Yegor running in, he has an Arcane Rune, wants to use his ulti. Kuropatic blinks out. TP out now, you have to do it. Rubik has been found, the duel will be there. Another duel damage, and the duel won for the LC. Kuropatic is still not TPing away. Snapfire, Van Score has to get himself out. Yep, night vision no longer there. You have been seen. Sans is up. He goes for TP out. The stomp will not allow it. So the poor grandma, she gets stomped on, and her old back, it just cannot live through it. That's gonna be Yegor getting himself a wicked kill streak. 5 to 16. You've gotten 5 kills in 30 minutes. Every 6 minutes, Sigma YNT are getting a kill. So at 36, just kidding. Of course, we'll see how that goes. It's gonna be a shard in the Roche. Who gets it? I'm guessing you go for the Terrorblade shard, right? Yeah, I mean, he's not taking it just yet. He's gonna give it to DLC. It has to do something with the overwhelming odds as far as I know. Just check it, it got changed. So yeah. Start for the overwhelming odds. Oh, you get the armor bonus. 5 per hero, 1 per creep.
Invisibility. Radiant's courier has been killed.
And it lasts for longer, so you have the movement speed and the movement speed longer. Okay, that's fine. I mean, if you use it on a PL, you're gonna have 1 billion armor, but I still don't see it as something big. It actually does increase the duration quite a lot, from 7 to 15. So it's not to be underestimated whatsoever. Let's see now. Moneymakers, they're coming for the high ground push. They want to end this right here, right now, with a 21,000 gold lead. They never let it go. They started winning the laning stage, and they continued to do so throughout the game. DLC now is going for an AC. Like, are we afraid of the PL? Well, probably not, but let's just itemize properly versus it. There's gonna be an Ether Lens on the Tinker soon, and well, Moneymakers, they're enjoying themselves here. The FPS, there's gonna be some issues with it, obviously, with the Tinker, you know, and the in the game. Yegor, it's his Shiva. Guys, don't get confused. Tinker doesn't have it. Tinker is just so poor that you know, Shiva's guard is just a long distant dream that he's gonna have to hope for later on. Of course, you would like it versus the Terrorblade versus an LC with this much damage, but it's just hard. You can keep your magic. I have laser beams. Well, those haven't worked out too well for you, because his name is For You. Get it? The Dark Lord, he's talking to his teams like, guys, I got an Octarine core. We can delay this forever. This can be a 70-80 minute game for all I care, and maybe then, only then can they come back. Really, the Stinker needs that much time, maybe even. It's just insane how much he's underfarmed. He's 10,000 to 11,000 gold behind the Terrorblade, and 6,000 gold behind his mid lane counterpart. 6,300 to be exact. 17,387 on the DP. 1187 on the Tinker. So yeah, 6,300 sharp. Like no 6,301 or anything like it. So the FPS should be better now after the reconnect. Usually Dota around 30 minutes in, it can start lagging, but of course nothing that a good old-fashioned reconnect isn't gonna fix. It happens in some PCs. Doesn't happen to me though, right? It's not like I have the best PC in the world. I have a decent one. I'm not really sure what the trigger for it is. Give some drivers. Jump in from DLC. Then go for a BKB. This is the problem. Stomp, a really big one. And now the Earth Splitter For You. No, he got caught by that stomp. They could have been able to kill Klaxon, but now it's not going to be happening. I think it's time to call it a day. You don't have 3 of your heroes, and the big Terrorblade is in your face. Oh no, he's using the Spirit Lance. What are we going to do? Well, you're going to run, because these illusions, they are not messing around. He will use the Sunder on the Terrorblade, knowing that his mana is slowly going to be chipped away by these illusions, but he will have all of his HP back. And Moneymakers are continuing with the push. Dark Lord going forward. That's the real one. Going for Lucas, who's the one with the Aegis. Dark Lord. Let's take a lot of damage from the overwhelming odds. It'd be cool if you could see how much armor Klaxon does have. That's gonna be the tier 3 down. They do have the glyph here, Lucas. He doesn't have the Sunder for 7 seconds, but that means he's gonna have it soon. He still has the Aegis, so not in any kind of jeopardy of losing his life. He'll lose the Aegis though, so that's big. Dark Lord going forward, he's gonna create enough space for his teammates to come back, and they still have the glyph, so Tinker will be back into the fray. Jump in from Kuropatic, gonna be sent back immediately, so they will not allow any kind of chase. Dark Lord is actually a problem. If they don't duel him, this PL could be an issue. But that's still a big fight for Moneymakers, and they have an Aegis for another minute and 40 seconds. If 4U hadn't gotten stomped on, because of that greed of the LC, they might have been able to bring him down, right? Another round of spells, bam bam, goodbye LC, and that's a completely different fight. But the second that the stomp comes through onto 3 heroes, that's like GG. Of course, GG wasn't called. It still seems like Sigma YNT think they can fight. They're in a 26k gold deficit. But it was shown that Dark Lord, he can commit and he can create some problems in a fight. What's going to be his next item though? I'm not sure. Bloodthorn, Lincoln Sphere. It's very tough to say. He needs a lot. Maybe a Scotty, you know. If you're unsure, you always get a Scotty. It's going to help. It's just so much stats. And Sigma, they're going for a smoke. If they catch someone with Kuropatic, they actually have the burst, I think, to bring down any hero. That's a big deal. But look at the positioning of Moneymakers. They're nowhere close to this one, and that's gonna be a... the only thing they can get is a tower if Moneymakers allow them. They have the glyph. They're gonna be using it. Dark Lord will get himself away. It's time to go back to the base. It's really time to go back. If you don't want your Raxus dead, there is no exorcism, but there is a meta. That Prophet going forward does have a BKB, 9-second one. Sigma YNT, they're gonna lose the range Raxus. Tinker is there, and what was caught? It's the Rubik 4 guy. No buyback. Klaxon is gonna be shrinked by the Shrink Ray. Look at how small he is. Cute LC. The Glimmer Cape will protect him. Lucas now, he does have a Satanic, so that's effectively a double life. If you wanted, we'll use it immediately onto the illusions. Will heal himself up back to full. Basher on the PL, so he wants to be able to fight. Not the easiest thing to do. The Exorcism is going to be used by Yegor. Doing some damage. They're fine. Going for the Raxus, trying to finish them off. Not going to be happening just yet. Sigma YNT, very good at protecting the base. They're baiting. They still have that glyph. Yegor, BKB gonna be used. Kuropatic. That's how the Lotus Orb removes the 8 toss. Now they use the glyph. And Yegor will have to run. That's without the BKB. It just doesn't do that much. Raxus, they stay alive. Sigma YNT, they only lost the range Raxus. They are still in it. 28,000 gold deficit. Nope, they cannot push. It's way too hard. And it definitely is. It really is very hard for them to finish this game. So we could be here for quite some time. Of course, one big fight could end it all. Or BKB for you. He doesn't have a BKB either. If he had it there in the Tinker, maybe he attempts to go for a play. But the second you come close, you get silenced, you get 8 tossed, and you can even die if you're not careful. Stampede gonna be used. Who are they chasing? Bignum. He gets himself away, and Dark Lord fed a cookie. Where's the vision? They need the dust. There it is. The stun. Now gonna be connecting. The Static Storm is there, and now the PL will get you. Goodbye. 5 hits. That's how much Klaxon needs to finish him off. Dead for 69, and 4U brought back as well. The damage not going to be enough. They do protect him there with the Glimmer Cape, so he'll be fine. Vanscore onto the high ground. They don't know he's there. He will escape as well. Sigma YNT, they lose 2, they get 1. 4U, he needs to push out this bottom lane. He needs to do it now, as fast as possible. All of these creeps have to die. If they don't, you are going to be losing a full lane of Rax. They have the buyback on the Centaur, but he's going to be available in 20 seconds. No BKB on the Terrorblade, no BKB on the LC. So there are some big things, especially now with the overwhelming gods on Queasy. Let's see how much the Raxes healed themselves. Not enough. Not enough for this Terrorblade to not finish them off. Actually, he does get... stop there. Lucas has to be careful, has the Sunder, but he gets stunned up. Ooh, immediately the stun gets removed. The press the attack is there, and he's gonna swap his life with Bignum. Puts Bignum in danger, but the Disruptor will survive, and still the Raxes are staying alive. Sigma YNT, they're not giving this one away easily. And they actually did get a kill 36 minutes into the game, so it really is every 6 minutes they get a kill. That's not something to be proud of, But it's something, guys. It's honest work. Dark Lord, he wants an Orchid next door. A full Bloodthorn. It makes sense. BKBs are getting low. You are not going to be surviving the duel. The LC is too strong. And, well, that LC now is going to be hunting all the time. Rosh up in a minute. That's something that the Moneymakers will be waiting on. And score. Leading the charge, places a ward and a sentry, does have the little shredder, gonna get dueled, nope, Glimmer Cape keeping him alive, Klaxon gonna get lifted up, stunned up, can they finish him off? Where's the damage? He has the BKB, we'll have to use it right now, but it will keep him safe. Slayer puts himself out there, the Stampede will get used, has the Ghost Scepter to keep himself alive versus the PL. The BKB from Yegor, it's gonna be okay because of it, but that's a lot of spells used by Moneymakers. 2 BKBs and they don't get much out of it. Rosh up in 25 seconds. This might be a good setup for Sigma. There's not going to be an Exorcism. There's not going to be 2 BKBs. It's a perfect time if you can find the right initiation. They don't have the Stampede. They don't have the Mortimer's Kisses though. So Sigma, they are severely weakened as well. Buybacks on every single hero apart from the PL. And actually he's very close to his as well. He gets 1 kill in a fight and that's going to be enough. Still, if they get the duel, they win it. If back used, well, that's a very advanced score. Does have a buyback, immediately goes for it. This is the fight that they were looking for going forward. Kuropatic is gonna get stomped on, but not gonna be lasting for too long. He does have the defense matrix on him. Dark Lord has to get away. They pull back the Centaur, hex him immediately. He will be okay, but not for long. Lotus Orb is on him. Klaxon, he's waiting for the PL. Glimmer Cape keeping him alive. Where's your vision? There's the duel coming out from Klaxon. They'll get the kill. Does have a buyback cookie onto the illusion. Yeah, that's gonna die before it does connect. But the heat-seeking missiles, they're doing a lot of damage. In the end, they don't finish off anybody. They're tripling the kills of Sigma YNT here on Moneymakers, and the Rosh is up. That's the third one. The Aghanim Scepter, Terrorblade. He already has his blink, so guess what now? The Terror Wave will be ready. Blink in, Terror Wave. Everybody's in trouble. Unless you want to keep it to Klaxon. Really no reason to do so. Aegis, Aghanims, and the cheese onto Yegor. Have been able to delay this 40 minutes into the game now. Sigma YNT, they have 6 kills. That is pretty sad, but they are still in it. Even with the 38,000 gold deficit, it seems like they still might have a shot. Tinker needs a hex. That is a game-changing item for sure. There's already a hex on the other side. The DP is sporting that one. For them, the Disruptor still doesn't have an Aghanims. But to be honest, there are no BKBs in Sigma, so not that big of a deal, actually. Rubik, no shard. He should get a shard. The shard is one of the only ways in Dota that you can pull someone out of the kinetic field, and I think that's big for the PL. If they would commit on him, you pull him out of the kinetic field, he uses the Doppelganger, creates a little bit of chaos in a fight. That could make a huge difference. The BKBs on Moneymakers are low. Boy, are they farmed, especially compared to their enemies. Only 1 buyback missing on Sigma. Those defense matrices, they're being used. They need a ton of those for you. Will be protecting his teammates. He has a buyback if need be. He's level 20 on the Stinker. What did he get in terms of the talent? He got the defense matrix grants cooldown reduction 25%. Cool. That's actually pretty cool. Because you are with the PL, who is already relying on spamming quite a lot.
Tower is under attack.
That's a big deal. PL is level 20. Gets to level 25 and be able to spam out. Oh, poor Tinker. Hexed up. Defense matrix. The hex might not last for long, but it's gonna last long enough for them to get a static storm, duel, everything. Klaxon 358 in terms of damage. Okay. More than a rapier. He's gonna be going for a full Octarine core, so just wants to continue dishing out those duels and getting the damage. Tinker does have a buyback, but forcing it out is a big deal. Getting caught on a Tinker ward. He should have known better. Yegor comes over. He was inside the invis. He'll try to keep him away, but these illusions, they can't really do much. They have a glyph yet again, Sigma YNT, but do you want to use it? It seems like the answer will be no. Finally, the Raxes will fall. 42,000 net worth, 42 minutes into the game, maybe 43 now. It is something that you usually almost never come back from. Going onto the Terrorblade, sending the illusions. They do solid amounts of damage, but the overwhelming odds, they deal with them. Still, illusions, they're not to be underestimated. Finally, the glyph does come through. Terrorblade dropping low, has the Ascetic's cap. Sunder at the ready, uses it on the illusion. He's back up to full. No mana, though. That could be something that does hinder his ability to fight. It's Terrorblade illusions, they're very annoying. But something he can deal with. Sunder on the Rubik. Okay. Let's see how much that helps. Maybe you can save somebody in a duel. So they're not gonna have a glyph now for 5 minutes. Sigma YNT, they've already lost a lane of Rax. They're up against the Aegis, but there is no meta. There is no exorcism for quite some time. They do have a Terror Wave. That is something to keep in mind. Top lane, smoke from Sigma. Tinker wards are at the ready. Moneymakers, they don't have the DP here, but he has the Boots of Travel. He can connect if he wants to. Kuropatic leading the charge. Who's hiding in the trees? It's the LC. Can they find him? They're going to be needing some vision. Lucas jumps in. There's the Terror Wave. Everybody's afraid, and you should be. Especially now because you're going to get cut down. But the LC immediate buyback. It's now or never. You have to fight. Or they're just going to be running away. Oh no, guys. He has a Lotus. I'm going to glimpse myself. Who the hell cares? And everybody's just dying left and right from Sigma YNT. They have a buyback on their Centaur. But this is getting a little bit too hard. If they get close, they die. If they don't get close, their Raxes die. So Sigma YNT, it's not much of a choice that you have in front of you. 400 damage on the LC, very stacked on this hero. So let's see what he's going to be doing to the Raxes. He's not even coming close. He's there to protect his Terrorblade and to press the attack. Dark Lord gets pushed back. The Tinker, his BKB gets forced out, and there's nothing he can do. He's just sending out those heat-seeking missiles. Buyback from the Centaur. It's going to be a queue for Moneymakers to get themselves out. Jumps in. He gets hexed up. He bought back, and he died. So it's going to be a very fast dieback on the Centaur there. What an amazing thing. The PL is thrilled that he's not going to have his offlaner for 70 seconds. Actually, he's dead for not so long, just because his levels are down in the dumpster, and his net worth as well. I mean, if you compare him to the supports of Moneymakers, he is sad. So FPS problems there on the side of Moneymakers. I don't know if they even need to play anything right now with a 52,000 gold lead. Sigma YNT still 6 kills on their side. It's just such a low amount. You have a Tinker, this hero. From like minute 25, he needs to have like 10 kills himself and not 6 kills for the entirety of the team. LC 7-0 and 11. Klaxon, he had his issues in the previous game, but he's definitely showing up here in game number 2. What kind of a miracle needs to happen for Sigma YNT to win this one? A power outage. That's I'm staying with that as the answer, because I'm looking at this game and I just don't see it. Even if you continue to play it perfectly, poke with the PL, poke, at some point you lose. You just lose. Moneymakers, they would have to be forced into a really big mistake. And they have buybacks, so they have time for 2 of those. Their items are, and heroes are so strong at this point, and they itemized in such a way that, I mean, they have heroes that you itemize that way, that they have late game items. It's not like they itemize for winning the early game. Now they're just getting the luxury items like the refreshers, the hexes, the Octarine cores for the LC. It's just a little bit too easy at this point. Even their supports, you know, they didn't go for the greedy route. They're there to assist their teammates. Level 25 on the LC. Get out the talent. So he got press the attack spell immunity. Yeah, well, good luck. Good luck now. No follow-up stuns, no follow-up hexes, no follow-up anything. Not like you could have gotten the gold for it on the Tinker anyways, but... The big things came out from Moneymakers, whereas Sigma YNT, I'm not sure they even have all of their core items right now.
That's more like it.
Not level 16 on the Centaur. Yeah, okay, Kuropatic. Guys, I'm a Blink Stun. That's about it. That Lotus Orb, it can help a little bit. And that Blink Stun is countered by the LC, who you can see that when they're sieging, the base is always behind. I still think Moneymakers could easily come to the base here and take it down, but they don't want to risk it. They understand that this series is very important for them. So they're not gonna risk it even 1%. I would like to see with the win probability. We'll see if the observer does do it. This is a Russian observer, so he doesn't hear me, unfortunately. Pew pew pew. Oh yeah, you're pew pewing, but nobody. For all of those of you guys that have been meeting some Tinker Smurfs in your game, watch this with enjoyment, as the Tinker has nothing, as the Tinker can do nothing, as the supports are getting more net worth than the Tinker. We all know how 4 supports feel when they're playing against this guy. They get absolutely decimated by him, especially when it's a Smurf in games. We all know in lower MMR what Smurfs play. It's a Tinker. Really, it was. I was watching some of my friends play Dota, and I'm like, you guys, you cannot catch him, right? 5-6k MMR Tinker, which is pretty low, but when you're 2-3k, you just cannot catch him. You can't do it. It's impossible. You cannot win the game. Well, here it's a little bit different. You're playing against the professional team that is in this game better than you. Sigma YNT, they're leading 1-0 in terms of maps. So even if they lose this one, they still haven't lost the series. But their performance in this one, I guess it was cool, but they just couldn't come out of the lane strong enough. They were too weak for the entirety of the game. This is going to be the 4th Roche. So another Aghanim Scepter. Curious to who they give it to. They could give it to Bignum, because now the Tinker does have his BKB. But to be honest, I'd be okay with a Slayer Aghanim Scepter. Let's go, let's go. Slayer? Yeah, he got it. That's gonna be a lot of damage. He's very happy. Look at Slayer. Look, I'm gonna be punching some faces now. Like, oof. That is gonna be a lot of damage. And magic immunity for him. $66,000 net worth lead. Gunning for 100, it seems. Taking all the money, hoarding it. This PL, he still has a lot of net worth. He has a Scotty. But how do you fight the Terror Wave? Is they're jumping in from the Terror Blade. He's ready to fight. He's ready to kill. He's ready to murder everybody inside of Sigma YNT, but they're keeping themselves away. Nice stomp there. BKB from the Tinker will prevent it from connecting onto him. He's continuing to spam out the spells. The Tinker's wet dream is currently happening. He's stuck in his base and he's spamming his heat-seeking missiles as much as he can. Yegor pops the BKB. They still have the glyph on the side of Sigma YNT, but will not be using it for the range Raxes. That's gonna be it for Moneymakers and their push currently. They still have the refresher and double cheese and the refresher shard on the LC. We'll see who actually gets given that one, if it is going to be Klaxon that uses it, or is he going to be giving it to Lucas maybe. Their wave is going to be up in 40 seconds. And the PL does have that Lincoln Sphere. He's stacked. He only needs the Abyssal Blade. He did lose his career, and is actually getting the books. He's getting everything. You know, like a firstborn child. Best education. A lot of time given, then the second child gets nothing. Look at the second child, the Tinker. He gets half as much as the PL, and well, the other guys are just we don't even talk about them. Moneymakers, they're in a smoke. They have a DD on the Terror Blade. He doesn't have a Terror Wave, but he does have the meta. Dark Lord hiding in the smoke there will be showing himself. Jump in, Dark Lord. They break the link as they get the Hex. The Cookie will be pulling him out. And the Lotus Orb there onto him. That means a double duel, but he's surviving. He's surviving through this. Is he gonna survive long enough? No, that's a double duel victory. Now give me the third one as well. All the damage in the world going towards this LC. I'm not sure who's sharpening her blades there, but the guy knows what he's doing. Now the rockets flying through still, but without the PL, you don't have your frontliners. The tankiest one of you is your Centaur, and he dies in a second. Jump in, Terror Wave. Lucas is gonna get stumped up. Immediately removed there by President. Akura Patic gets annihilated by this Terror Blade, and that's gonna be it here for game number 2. They're still not calling GG. They have the buyback on the PL. The money came through, and he's coming over. He's coming over to fight. He wants to kill all of the Terror Blade illusions because, well, the heroes, you can't do anything to them. Lucas still has the Aegis. He got lifted up. The Glimmer Cape protecting him, and the President attack is there. He does have the Sunder. Will get his HP back. Slayer, unfortunately for him, he doesn't have it. The Dark Lord is starting to do some damage, but Lucas jumps in. He goes into the backlines and starts destroying everybody. The Stolen Sunder from the Rubik allows for you to survive for another half a second, but that's about it. Dark Lord, he's doing his best. He's fighting as much as he can, but he's so low. They've already called GG. They want at least him to live. That's not going to be happening. And Moneymakers, they force out the game 3. They win against Sigma, and they will be still able to make sure that Sigma don't get a single victory yet in the Eastern European DPC Division 2. They have something to prove here from the side of Moneymakers, that they should have been the ones to stay in the YNT organization. But we'll see if they do prove it, because in game number 1, they didn't look so hot. In game number 2, they started off with a good laning stage. They continued through it, and they never let go of the lead. In the end, it was huge, insurmountable, too big for Sigma YNT to do anything about it. With that being said, guys, we will be taking a short break. As soon as the teams are ready in the lobby and ready for battle, we're going to be getting into the decider of this best of 3 series.